Okay guys, Papa Sam here, and today we're going to be talking about how to counter every clasher as Rascal. So without further ado, let's get into it. And before this, I want to say two things. First off, we're going to identify Rascal, and what I mean by that is what he can do in the first place. And second, I really suggest you guys try to learn how to aim Rascal shotgun. It does help a lot when countering. Like you don't understand, it helps so much. But let's identify Rascal and then we'll get into it. So first off, we got a Southern American from Bacontown who has a deployable turret that takes 3 seconds to set up. If you're not cannoning it, and a scrap cannon that does 25 to 50 damage, depending on damage fall off, and a shotgun that does up to 72 damage if aimed correctly. Oh, and a launch pad that takes about a second and a half to load. And so now that we got all that, we can start looking at how to counter each clasher. So without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off with Ghost. Now with Ghost, it really depends on your skill with aiming. I personally try to get in their no-no square and shotgun them down since I can usually 3-shot them. And now I wouldn't suggest using strap cannon because it's the most inaccurate. And plus its range, it's basically ranged weapons. So, and you shouldn't be attacking Ghost from a range anyway. That's more fair for him than it is for you. So just get up in their face. And if they're ever attacking your turret, just try to place your turret in a place where they have to be within peripheral vision. And what I mean by that, I don't know if I said that right, but just put it in a place where you can either get close to them or attack them when they're attacking your turret, or they have to be really close to actually do damage or shoot it. And with Sheila, oh, yay, Sheila, my favorite. Now, dealing with Sheila is okay, first thing, don't shotgun a Sheila. Don't even get close to them. That's the worst thing to do. Unless you're at a shotgun god, don't do it. It's just so dumb. But dealing with Sheila is simply just like two things. Turn around. Second, get a launch pad. Use the launch pad to get to high ground. And then place a turret. And then shoot them with a scrap cannon. Just stay out of their range. And what I mean by that is get to anywhere where you have a height advantage. Because they're not going to do as much damage as you're farther away. They have damage fall off. So just stay out of their range and don't get too close to them. Now, if they're running away from you or they're coming towards you, it's okay to scrap cannon them and get a little damage on them. Because scrap cannon is pretty effective against Sheilas if you use them in range and it lands. But otherwise, I don't want to see anyone just trying to 1v1 a Sheila. Just be smart about this. When it comes to Decker, it's kind of a 50-50, but usually you'll win. The best way to counter him is to get up in his face. He's not going to trick stab you, so you don't have much to worry about. And I take that shotgun just 100% of the time, just because you're going to do a lot of damage to them. And even if they do cloak, chances are you're going to be able to track them for the few seconds that they just cloaked after. So you'll just be able to track the smoke trail and then shoot them again. And all you got to do is get 2 good meat shots, and they're basically dead. But if you use scrap cannon, I would only use that if they're from a range and attacking your turret. But yet again, place the turret somewhere they have to be close to see it, or just attack it in general. And just be around your turret and defend it. They're going to try to, just take out your turret from the farthest of ranges, so don't just put it out in the open. Now, on to Cyborg. And, Cyborg's actually really easy to counter in this situation. You would think he's hard to counter, but he's not. So, with Cyborg, it's easier. The first thing you need to do is always just try to be one step ahead of the Cyborg. He's a slower dude. He does a lot of damage, but you do too. So usually I engage them by just sneaking up on them. And this is only good in 2 situations. One, when their armor is run out and they're low, or their armor just ran out in general. And 2, when they're out of rockets. Then it's almost a free kill if you can aim when they're out of rockets and armor. So take that chance. Go shoot them. Be as accurate as possible. You do 72 damage per shot. You can basically 4-shot them. Just be really dodgy and be smart. And you don't even have to do that. Sometimes you can just distract him with the turret and then just shoot him from behind. But never engage one with a medic. Just don't do it, because you have to focus on 2 different targets. Don't do it. Now, the other thing you can do is actually get a Reaper to poison your turret. So even if the turret does die, it poisons them. So it's gonna pierce through armor. But yeah, be aggressive, Believe it or not, being a cyborg is scary because everyone wants to kill you. You're like the main focus. So just focus him down, make him nervous. Just make him use a mistake. And if you're not the best with aiming, try to use a wall or a pillar or a corner to go around and dodge some of their rockets. Just be smart about it. And now countering other rascals. You should always focus down the turret because, well, just do it. Just do it. It's the smartest thing to do. And get them distracted. Engage when they're distracted. Engage when they're, that low health. But if you ever get in a 1v1 situation, I don't want to see anyone using the bubble and being a stun because that's just wrong. That's not being skilled. That's just using your ult. You're no better than a decker at that point. But if you do get in a 1v1 situation, just shotgun them. It's really the smartest thing to do. And hopefully you can aim. So yeah, that too. Oh, hey, you. Yeah, yeah, you right there. Did you know Rascal can do this up to 600 damage per clip? Yeah, crazy, right? Okay, so do that and use it on Sir Knight's shield. It's really simple. Just take down his shield and he's basically done. And once you take down his shield, you can place a turret to distract him. And in some cases, if they do attack your turret, you can overheal it just enough to where it survives a little bit longer and does more damage to them. But the Sir Knight, just kind of keep your distance. But if you have to, in close combat, just use shotgun. He's actually kind of really easy to counter just because he's so slow. And that's saying something coming from me, a Knight main. But now when it comes to Reapers, the best thing to do really is to just either stay out of their sight line and sneak up on them, or if you're brave enough, just scrap them from across the map and harass them because then they'll leave you alone. Now for turrets, I would just, yet again, put it in a place where they have to be close to do damage. Don't put it in giant sight lines. Like, put it behind corners and walls. For example, the cave on Blight Peak, and you know what I'm talking about, like the exit on the cave, where there's the giant rim where people always place their turret on top of it or inside that little corner that you have to walk around to shoot at it. Just places like those. Places where they have to get close to shoot. Because she's a range clasher. She's not going to do good at close range. And yeah, just don't overstep your boundaries. And if you do get close to him, shotgun is the best thing to do. Don't scrap cannon. You're probably going to miss. She is a twig. Don't do it. Trust me. I have way too many hours and deaths to Reapers because I just tried to scrap cannon them up close. And for medic, I don't know. Medic's kind of hard. Just shoot them. Just shoot them. It's a medic. Ever since they got neutered to 125, they're two-shot for your weapons. Remember, medics are slower than Sheila, so you can basically two-shot them if you land the right amount of hits. And even then, if they're low, scrap cannon them from a distance. It's the smartest thing to do. Don't worry about if they're attacking your turret unless they're smart enough to get inside of it. If they're smart enough to get inside of it, they're probably going to die anyway because once you see they're attacking it, you're going to attack them or someone else is going to attack them. It's a medic. People don't leave medics alone. It's not normal. So, yeah. But other than that, guys, I hope this helps you in your future. And oh, wait. My bad. Until then, guys, keep clashing.